Yo, what's good, YouTube? It is your boy Flyer69 coming to you guys today with my ideal Philadelphia Flyers offseason. Now, I'm not saying they need to make all of these moves for it to be my ideal offseason. I'm just saying these moves would be the moves I would make if I was GM and if the teams would take these moves. Yet again, it's kind of hard to assess what trades and signings people would be willing to do. But yet again, this is cap friendly. This is hypothetical. We're just going to rock with it, okay? But this offseason is so critical for the Philadelphia Flyers. Chuck Fletcher seems he's willing to go balls to the wall because his job depends on it. And I'm now, before I say something, I hope he hits. But yet again, if he doesn't hit, we're set back another 5 years. And he's gone. And Danny Briere can be the new GM. I think the most likely option this offseason, Chuck goes balls to the walls, fucks up, Danny Briere's GM by Christmas. Just saying, that's what I think the logical and most likely outcome is going to be. Anyway, here's how my offseason would look ideally if I was GM. Yeah, again, it's cap friendly, it's hypothetical. Now, warning, some of these moves, there's one move where I could say I am fleecing the other team, but I will touch on that in a second. So let's look at the free agent signings here. RFA, we re-signed Wade Allison. He's a good young player who could be a solid bottom six player. Jackson Cates, Morgan Frost, Tanner Zinski, I can't say his last name, I haven't been able to. Zach McEwen, who's I think going to fit in very well with the Torch system. Torch is probably going to love McEwen because he's that gritty son of a bitch. And he was the only one that was kind of tough on the Flyers last year, so I think Torch is going to like him. Owen Tippett gets re-signed, 1.5 for 2 years. Isaac Ratcliffe, $750 per 2. And Jesse Puljujarvi. We traded for Jesse Puljujarvi, and you'll see that trade in a second. And then UFA signings, we only have 2. Jan Rutta. Why did I say Yarn? Because I was looking at Calle Yarncroke. That's why. Jan Rutta from the Tampa Bay Lightning, who had a pretty solid playoffs. Now, did I probably underpay him? Potentially. Potentially, I did underpay him. However, let's just rock with that value that he's getting, okay? Let's just rock with it. He had a very good year this year. Yet again, could he be benefited because he was playing that Tampa Bay system? Potentially. But would he be a quality addition to the Flyers? Absolutely. Better than what we got in the bottom 4 pairings. He would definitely help. And then Calle Yarncroke, another bottom 6 depth forward that could help the team with more depth and more scoring and a little bit more two-way. That can help the team a lot. Now, here are the trades I have. There are 3 trades I have done here. You see the top one, Arizona Coyotes, JVR. We retained $2.5 million because that just looks like the likely outcome. It's going to have to be to trade James Van Riemsdyk. You're going to have to retain at least minimum $2 million. That's what I've seen. That's what it's going to be. You got to save $2 million minimum retained. And then you probably got to send a pick as well. So I sent a 6. We get back a 5th. I don't even think we'll get back a 5th in real life. Honestly, I will say this. He only has 1 year left on his deal, so I don't know why teams are that stingy on not taking his contract. I understand why they want to retain, but we should probably get more than a 5th album because he's probably going to be okay this year, especially for Arizona where they really have nobody. He's going to probably do pretty solid for them, just like Shane Gostisbehere did with Arizona. Now, we traded Oscar Lindblom to Dallas Stars, kind of as a cap dump. 4th round pick. I was thinking about redoing the trade and making it a 5th because I don't know if we would get a 4th out of him. It would potentially be a 4th or a 5th. It don't matter. Either way, we trade Lindblom for a 4th or 5th round pick. It don't matter. And then the biggest trade I made here, Jesse Puljujarvi, and we got a 7th for Morgan Frost, in 2023 3rd and in 2022 5th round pick we send over to Edmonton. Now, could this be a fleece? Yes, we could fleece Edmonton, but yet again, you got to remember the GM is Ken Holland. Morgan Frost still has a lot of upside. He still has a lot of potential. He's very young. Yes, he hasn't gotten off to the way we wanted him to. Yet again, Vigneault hasn't really developed any of the young players, really. Farabee's the only one that's really shined when Vigneault was there. Young player-wise, other than that, they just didn't really seem to get, a lot of the young players didn't really seem to get along with him. And I think Frost still has a ton of potential, and he can do very, very well in Edmonton, especially as like a 3rd line You could put him even at the wing. That could work too. And Pugliarvi, they're going to have to keep Yamamoto or Pugliarvi. I think Yamamoto they're going to keep, so that would then leave them trying to trade Jesse Pugliarvi. Good fit in Philadelphia. I think he can really thrive under Torts. I think it's a good move for the Flyers. Now, let's go see, obviously, the picks. We have our first-round pick. I was debating about going for Alex DeBrincat, but then there's also an article I saw that we would have to give up our first-round pick, which makes sense. And then you would have to give up someone, either Joel Farabee or Cam York. I'd be more willing to give up York than I am Farabee. I'm not giving up Farabee in a first, and then I think there was something, Tyson Forrester. I'm not giving all that up for DeBrincat. He's a very, very good player, don't get me wrong, but actually I would do it. But yet again, I just kind of, what's the purpose? I think you have to give up more if you trade Cam York than if you were to trade Farabee, obviously, because I think Farabee has more value than York. But it's just, I don't really know the direction the Flyers are really trying to take with what they're trying to do this offseason. They're just trying to go balls to the walls, just spend money just to try and save their jobs and their ass. I don't know what they're trying to do. That's the thing. I really don't know the direction of the team that they're trying to do. With this, you kind of see a direction. I'm not going crazy to where I'm trying to win this year. I'm not trying to win and fucking go to the playoffs, and if we don't get past the first round, I'm trying to sell the team. No. I'm keeping it moderate here. Yeah, we got Ruda because we need defense. I got Pugliarvi because he's a good young player that can easily step in and fill a void and be a top 6 forward for us. Look at the lines. Second line. I really love the second line. Konechny, Hayes, Pugliarvi. I think that would be a great line for the Flyers. And defensively, we're better. I think Ristolainen will get a little bit better, but he's probably still going to be Ristolainen. I do think Torts is going to give him structure. I do think Torts is going to lead him down a line where he's going to improve this upcoming season, but is he still going to play worth that $5.1 million for 5 years? Fuck no. He ain't going to. Simple as that. It was a retarded move. Shouldn't have said that. It was a dumb move by Chuck Fletcher, and I don't know. Chuck's going to Chuck. That's all I'm going to say. Chuck, I really wish he would be gone. I mean, fast, but another move. There was 2 other trades I was potentially thinking about, or one other trade. It was between I was trading one of the other players, either Provorov or Konechny. I decided, why don't we just hold off on trading them? Because one, I don't know what kind of value you're getting out of Provorov or Konechny. You might be able to get a first album, because Konechny still, after his 2020 year, was fantastic. So do teams still look at that and say he's worth a first round pick, or do teams look at Provorov and say we can get a first round pick out of him? Or what do teams really value these guys? That's something I really don't know. That's why I'm like, just hold off on trading them. Let's just run it with them, see how they do under Torts, see if they get better, see if they fit. If not, by the deadline, if we still suck ass, we trade them. Simple as that. We trade them, we blow it up. Yet again, if we make playoffs, cool, but this team's not built to win right now. It's more of we're to make steps forward, not to make steps back. And yet again, I did think about blowing up the team. I did think about it, but it's little baby steps. Do little baby steps with the signs with Ruda. Pugliarvi helps a lot, and Calle Yarncroke, great depth player. I really like those acquisitions. Ruda's 31, Yarncroke's 30, I believe, and Pugliarvi's 24. We get a good young player on Pugliarvi. I forget how many years we signed him. 3.1. I think it's up here. 3.1 per 3. So his contract will be up, I think, when he's 27, 26, around there. So maybe we underpaid him a little bit, but yet again, he hasn't really warranted that he's worth, more than $4 million, I should say. I think 3.1 is okay, but yet again, I would be willing to pay him more. I was thinking, I saw some things, his asking price is kind of around, the estimate's $3 million. So I said, let's go 3.15. Just go with that and see what happens. And another thing, I really hate that we got Ryan Ellis last offseason. People at the time loved the move. I hated it because of the contract. I knew it But it's in the absence. Yeah, it might work for a year or two, but then after that, what's going to happen? You still got 4 years on that deal after 2 years, and he's going to start falling off. And his history of injuries weren't good. And we saw last year, what? He only played 4 games. So, yeah, and he's not even rehabbing. He's not even ready to rehab. He's so far behind. The trade's just dumb. It was really dumb. And it hasn't really worked out, but yet again, we didn't really give up much. But yet again, we're taking on that cap hit. That doesn't help. So, and yet again, this team's already just tight on money. That's another thing. I couldn't really make a lot of moves without really gouging the team. I really could I could have gone balls to the walls. I didn't want to go balls to the walls. Let's just keep a core. Keep a core and start building upon it. I think that's the smart thing for the Flyers. You assess the team under Torts. See what works, see what doesn't. Who works, who doesn't. And say connecting doesn't work and he beats a whiny baby bitch under Tortorella, saying he hates Tortorella, he's too hard on him or whatever. Trade him. Simple as that. Same for Provorov. Same for any of these guys. Atkinson, he's going to like Tortorella, but he's not. He has a no trade clause, so he ain't going to. I just used him as an example. I think players like Kevin Hayes is going to love Torts. I think players like, obviously, Hayes. I would say Sanheim might be pretty good under Tortorella. I think Sanheim would do pretty well. And I would say Konechny would be good under Tortorella, but yet again, I don't know how he's going to deal with that pushback that Tortorella is going to give. That's another thing. I think Lawton's going to fit in pretty well. I think he'll fit in pretty good with Tortorella. And then just look at our bottom 6. It's just a drastic improvement. Yes, our last fourth line center, questionable, Zach McEwen, but yet again, he's there a little bit to bring toughness to the lineup. And yet again, we didn't really have any fourth line centers that I was really intrigued by. You could plug in Patrick Brown or whatever. Okay, whatever. I guess that works. But McEwen was that tough guy that the Flyers had. The only tough guy that they had last year. Everyone else was Charmin Ultrasoft. So I think he definitely does have a spot on the team this year to start. Go from there. I think everyone's going to get tougher. And I really think it's going to help. And the team's going to be better this year. I do think they're going to take a step up with Tortorella. Now, what does the future look like beyond that? And how can we start contending and try and make playoffs and start building upon? That's the question. We have the 5th overall pick this year. I didn't say who we would pick. I think it's going to be Matthew Savoy the way it's looking, or yeah, probably Savoy. I'm cool with that. I didn't put any draft picks because it can change so fast. I don't know how it's going to work. So I just didn't say who the hell we would pick 5th overall because, and again, the draft, who knows who's going to be there at 5. Maybe somehow Shinwright starts falling. I don't think he's going to fall below 2, but who knows? I don't know. You never know how it's going to go, so I just didn't put in any other draft prospect, but more than likely, I think Savoy is going to be the 5th overall pick. Look at the amount of young players we have in this lineup. Bobby Brink, I think he's going to take a step up under Tortorella, and I think he's going to improve this year. He already looked good in the games he played last year. Small sample size, but I think he looked pretty good. Owen Tippett was not bad. I only put him 4th line because where the hell else he's going to go. Wade Allison, I think he'll take a step up. Farabee, I think he'll be better this year. Puljujarvi would fit in with the team very well. Konechny, I hope he takes a step up from the past 2 years that he's had. Let's hope. Provorov, let's hope he gets better. Travis Sanheim, let's hope he continues on the year he had last year. He was very, very good. Easily the best defenseman on the team. Easily. We need him to improve. We need him to keep developing. But and also another thing, UFA, you can tell right there, 1 year left on that deal. He's going to want a massive payday. So that's something you got to look out for the next offseason and the deadline. If we can't really negotiate well with him, then he's gone. That's the thing you got to worry about if you're Chuck Fletcher and the Flyers. And I looked into it, but I would do my damnedest to keep him. But so that is my ideal Philadelphia Flyers offseason. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys for the next one.